Okay, hello. I am Karen Austin with Remax Real Estate, and today I am here with Jeff Miller, the owner of Farmers Insurance Group. And Jeff, what we would like to know about you, can you tell us a little bit about yourself and how you got into the insurance profession?
Sure. I got into, I graduated college from Ferris State University, and I was in golf management. So I was a PGA professional for 38 years, and I'm still a life member of the PGA of America. I retired from that about 17, 18 years ago and decided that I wanted to make a change. And I ran into a guy named Brian Seipel, and he talked me into coming in and talking to him. And he was at the time the district manager for Farmers. He said, I only want to see you for like 40 minutes, if that's okay. It won't take long. I was there like 5 hours. And the next thing you know, I'm kind of on my journey to being a insurance professional. And so it was an intriguing situation and one that I looked forward to be honest with you. And having already had a career, I knew I didn't have to go out there and get 50,000 people to make a living. That makes sense. I could take my time, build the business the way I wanted to, and get comfortable with what we were doing. I think I've achieved that so far.
Okay, so all you had to do was just open up your address book and tell your old clients or your sphere that I am now in the insurance industry.
I actually didn't do that. My thing is I know that a lot of people tell you to put 100 contact people and call them and start your business, and not having a lot of experience in the insurance industry, I decided that I was going to do strangers first, learn the business. I like my friends, and I wanted to be an expert or to be as knowledgeable as I could prior to reaching out to any of my friends and making sure that I knew I was talking about before I ended up signing up or enlisting any of those as clients. And I think it was a good way to go. I learned uncomfortability of selling insurance with strangers as opposed to my friends. And I think that I learned a lot from doing that, and it just helped me as time went on. I'm glad that I did it that way.
Okay. Now, speaking of uncomfortability, say for instance, a customer came to you and they expressed that their insurance had just gone up, their car insurance had just gone up, and of course they're not happy. What would you say to that person to sway them to work with, to switch over to Farmers and work with you?
Yeah, I know this sounds strange, but price isn't everything. Sometimes it's service, sometimes it's relationships that you develop. And because we're not have 10,000 people, I'm able to know a lot about my clients. Just this morning I'm driving with my wife and somebody calls me and I'm talking to her and she says, well, you know her a lot. Who is that? And I said, well, it's this lady I know down in Jackson. We talk a lot. So I think it's more personable doing it that way. But when people get upset about rate, a lot of times it's things that they can't control. Sometimes they can control them if they were involved in an accident or, things of that nature. But a lot of times there are things that the state of Michigan does to increase your insurances. There's a lot of things that, like right now, the UAW is having a strike, so auto parts are hard to find. Body shops can't get work done in a timely fashion. The cost of items goes up because of that. And we went through that with COVID when we had that. We couldn't get parts. There are clients from all companies that have waited 3, 4, 5 months to get what you and I might think are the simplest things, a plastic grill to go on the front of your, Silverado, and no one can find one. And so some of those things can be difficult to deal with, but in the end, people understand that if there's more losses, if you hit something and you cause a loss, the insurance company's a business just like everybody else. They're not in business to give it away. They're eventually going to get it back. I hate to say that. And when they do, everybody feels it. And it's not a personal thing. Mm-hmm. They're not going after you, Karen, as a person. They're going after a group of Karens.
Sometimes you feel like it's personal.
It does. It really does feel that way. And I understand that. And I'm a client as well. And if you take our retired sector, for example, the 62s to 60, and older. Well, I don't understand why my rate's going up. Okay. Not everybody sees as well as you might. Not every, all of those kinds of things are risk factors. Why does insurance spike when somebody turns 21 years of age?
Okay.
Because they can drink legally, not in a car, of course, but they can drink legally outside of that, so they have more of a likelihood of driving.
Okay.
Inebriated, intoxicated, under the influence, however you want to call it.
Now, what about the person? I just heard the other day, a person they got in rainwater and they basically had a heavy rainstorm. They had homeowners insurance.
Sure.
They called their insurance company, and the insurance company expressed your policy does not cover that. Now, is there anything that you would do up front? Is there any situation that one may think that they're covered but they're not? And it's
well, I
like
think
in that case of
it depends upon how the rainwater came in. Okay, there are situations where that would be covered. For example, if your neighbor kid threw a rock through your basement window and now you have a hole in the window and the water comes in from the hole. Now that's a vandalism claim. Now that would be covered. If it comes in through the foundation, like a crack in the wall, those are cases where it is not covered. And it wouldn't be covered under anybody's insurance policy, not farmers or whoever else you happen to have. Those are situations what they would consider maintenance issues. But because your roof is 35 years old and it's a little bit crumbly, that's more of a maintenance issue than it is an insurance issue. Insurance is sudden and accidental, not 10 to 15 years.
That's good to know. Someone throw a rock, okay.
Or a branch or something.
Okay, is there anything that most people don't know about insurance companies?
Insurance companies aren't there to take your money and say thank you and move on. They're there to help you. The problem that I think happens is when your generation, my generation, our parents in front of us, they would never call a claimant. My dad, if the gutter fell off, my dad would go up and fix the gutter. Wouldn't bother the insurance guy. I think the generations, as we've changed in our generations, they become more dependent on other people to do things as opposed to doing them themselves. And insurance is for when your roof blows off, not for when the eaves trough falls off. Does that make sense? I'll pay somebody $500 to come fix my eaves trough. I'll also pay $500 to have somebody come and fix my $30,000 roof. And that's what it's really for. And people always think that insurance companies are out to get you. They're not out to get you. They just have to be fair and treat everybody the same. And my experience over the last 18 years, you get a little thicker skin because of it. And I feel for you. I really honestly do. But I also see their side of it. And insurance is for major situations, not a twig that breaks a window.
Okay. Is there anything exciting going on now in the near future? Anything you want people to know?
As far as insurance is going?
Insurance, anything? Do y'all have any specials going on? Any
well, just like most others, our policies evolve. We've just come out with new policies. We have what's called a flex policy. So we're transitioning some of our clients into the newer policies, which have different types of rating factors. And a lot of times when companies come out with newer products, they don't have the loss ratios. They don't have the expenses that the older policies have. So the price pointing, the premiums might be better fit for you. The retired, I use that word a lot, retired individuals, the people that have Medicare. It's a possibility that you don't necessarily have to have the PIP insurance. Medicare covers about 80% of medical bills if you're involved in an accident. Most people that have Medicare have supplements. When you have a supplement, that picks up the additional 20%. So there's an area that you could possibly save some money, but it has to be right for you. I wouldn't suggest to the 67-year-old that's a salesman get that kind of coverage because they're on the road all the time. We have new flex products, then the home, the auto, the umbrella. We're good in life. We do have a life division that a lot of people may not know about, because when you think of life, not necessarily is your homeowners and your auto insurance the first person you think of. We do that. My agency also has financial services involved in it. I have myself. I have a gentleman named Steve Dugan, who the two of us do the financial services for our clients. And we do a number of different things, but primarily we specialize in IRAs, annuities. We do a lot of mutual funds. We don't buy stocks and bonds for people. We're not, on the New York Stock Exchange. We do things for long term, not short term. That makes sense.
Yeah.
And so we do a lot of that. Steve does a great job of it. He doesn't necessarily work in the office. He works out of his house, and he comes in here when we have meetings and when we meet clients. So it really works out well for Steve. I have a girl that works for me named Catherine, who she's bilingual. She specializes in Spanish. She does speak Spanish fluently, and so we do a lot of niche marketing and a lot of niche sales through the Spanish community, which not every insurance company has. We have that. I think, the combination of those things, our new products that Farmers came out with recently, we're in a good place. We're in a great place. And we enjoy it, and we're having fun.
All right. Okay. Very good, Jeff. I want to thank you very much for chatting with me today. And thanks.
All right. Thanks, Karen.
Okay.
Appreciate you coming by. Thank you.